Yeah, we all got dreams, but we stuck in the grind. Looking back at the past, but it's time to unwind. Everyone can do it, just gotta take that step. Stop dwelling on the losses, let's rewrite the rep. Hating on the president, calling him corrupt. But let me break it down, we gotta interrupt. Law's been in place, he's just playing the game. Ain't about the man, it's about the system's name. How do we move forward? Let's add something new. Together we can rise, yeah, that's what we do. Don't get stuck in the past, let the hate fall away. We building the future, let's seize the day. Can't you see? You bleeding all over the matrix, caught in the hype. Man, it's all fake tricks. The medic bag empty, y'all shit out of luck. Wake up before you get stuck. Y'all act like y'all in love, but y'all really in lust. Lost in the fame and the fortune. You ain't got no sense. You got the influencer fixation. You let them run your life. Red or blue, you're just a puppet with strings, always in strife. You think they care, but they don't give a damn. Just chasing the glow, the celebrity clout. They'll play both sides, the red and the blue, but they're just pulling your strings while you're stuck on your move. You're waiting for someone to tell you you're in luck, but mommy and daddy ain't coming, they're not in the cut. You're so blinded by the fame, the glitz and the glam, you forget what's real and who you really are. Wake up and see that you're just a pawn in the game. The red and the blue, they're all just the same. Stop being a puppet and take control of your life. And break free from the chains, it's time to ignite. How do we move forward? Let's add something new. Together we can rise. Yeah, that's what we do. Don't get stuck in the past. Let the hate fall away. We building the future. Let's seize the day. Can't you see? You bleeding all over the matrix. Caught in the hype. Man, it's all fake tricks. The medic bag empty. Y'all shit out of luck. Wake up before you get stuck. Yo, I see the struggle, I feel the pain, but we can't let the darkness keep us chained. We got the power, the voice is the might. Let's come together to wrongs and to right. Everyone's a player, so step to the front. No more division, let's rise from the blunt. It's not just about politics, it's a call to unite. Stand tall, move forward, let's ignite the light. Yeah, we're all in this together, no need to divide. Let's focus on the future, let the love be our guide. From the streets to the halls, let's make change. Break the chains of the past, let's rearrange. Y'all really stuck, so you know. Yeah, we living in a world where the rules don't apply. They say we gotta follow, but we ready to fly. System got us boxed in, trying to keep us small. But we rise like the phoenix, we ain't scared to brawl. They feeding us lies, but we see through the smoke. We're the voice of the people, we're ready to provoke. They want us to divide, but we're stronger as one. Breaking chains, sticking names, yeah, we getting it done. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. Fist in the air, yeah, we taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. In the world of division, they showed us how to share. But the weight of our sorrows, they never taught us to bear. We split our joys and laughter, but the pain remained untold. A burden we carry alone, a story left untold. They taught us to split everything, but not the heavy pain. It lingers in the shadows, a darkness we can't explain. We're never shattered pieces, trying to mend what's lost. They taught us how to split everything, but not the heavy cost. We learned to divide our dreams and multiply our fears, but the ache in our hearts only grew in passing years. They gave us all the answers, except how to heal. The scars that run so deep, wounds the time can't seal. Yeah, they taught us how to share, but only the good. Smiles and laughter like we understood, but deep down inside, there's a storm we hide. Pain in our hearts, we're just trying to ride. Put on a mask, yeah, we play the part, but nobody sees the cracks in the hearts. We share our dreams, the highs and the lows, but when it comes to hurt, we just close the doors. We share the fun times, deflect the pain, laughing in the sunshine, dancing in the rain. But the shadows linger, they creep and they crawl, breaking us down, but we don't share it all. We got hate in our hearts, but we keep concealed. Taught to share the joy, but wounds, they stay unhealed. They say love was easy to divide, but the heartache never subsides. We tried to split everything into two, but the pain lingers strong and true. Shared our dreams, divided our fears, but the sorrow remained through the years. No matter how we tried to let go, the weight of our suffering continued to grow. Now we're apart trying to heal, but some wounds are too deep to conceal. They said splitting up will set us free, yet the pain lingers in you and me. In a world where rules are set in stone, the system's grip tightens, we're not alone. Bound by chains of majestic greed, against the odds we fight to be free. Mighty forces try to keep us down, but our spirits rise, refusing to drown. Defying norms, breaking through the mold. In this battle of wills, our story is told. As the clash continues day by day, we stand united, come what may. For in this world where rules don't apply, our strength and unity will never die. They try to silence our dreams, but we're loud and clear. With every step forward, conquering fear. They can't hold us back. We're the fire and the flame in this battle for freedom. We're all in the game. They say it's just a game, but we're playing for keeps. With the strength of the many, we're shattered their leaps. No more puppets on strings, we're cutting the ties. With our eyes on the prize, we're reaching for the skies. So let's stand together, let's break down the walls. In this fight for our future, we'll answer the calls. From the ashes, we'll rise like a storm. Riders ignite, it's us versus the system, and we're ready to fight. They build the walls, but we're digging tunnels. With every step we take, we're shaking the bundles. From the streets to the courts, we're raising our voice. In a world full of noise, we're making the choice. They want to keep us blind, but we see the light. Knowledge is power, and we're ready to fight. From the corners of the city to the halls of the state, where the heartbeat of the struggle can't afford to wait. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. It's in the air, yeah, we're taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. They taught us to split everything, but not the heavy pain. It lingers in the shadows, a darkness we can't explain. We're left with shattered pieces, trying to mend what's lost. They taught us how to split everything, but not the heavy cost. Now we stand here broken, searching for some light, hoping for a way out of this never-ending night. But through it all, we find strength in each other's embrace. Together we'll face tomorrow and find solace in this space. They say don't bring the drama, keep it all light. But every night I'm fighting these demons in sight. Whispers in my mind, yeah, they echo when they shout. While I'm smiling on the surface, I'm breaking without. We're sharing the laughter, but what's underneath? A battlefield of sorrow, a war with no peace. We're warriors in silence, but nobody knows how the pain that we carry just grows and it grows. In a world of lessons learned, they taught us how to stand and burn. But the scars we hide deep inside are the ones that never subside. We followed all the rules they made, but the emptiness never fades. Their wounds like knives, cutting through even wounds that always grew. They painted pictures of success, but couldn't fix what's left from us. Now we're left to bear the strain of the pain that lingers, never wanes. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. That's in the air, yeah, we're taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. So remember this moment, remember this face, remember this sound. We're the voice of the future, and we won't back down. In the face of oppression, we'll stand up tall. It's us versus the system, and united we'll fall. Riders show how we unite.
All right, y'all, listen, man. Grab all the toxicity, all the toxic people in your life, right? Throw them out the window and Kobe them into a trash can, right? Forget about them like yesterday's newspaper, because that's what they is. Irrelevant, all right, guys? But let's get this John started, man. Let me welcome everybody to the Writers for Life. Brings you the Let's Talk About It podcast. All right, man. It's another episode of Off My Chest and Into the Mic. Shorty speaks her mind. All right. We're going to be speaking a little bit about manifest, all right, trauma. We're going to be diving into them little rabbit holes, all right. We're going to pick up on the last live, all right. The last live got kind of interrupted. All right. I apologized to my, my subscribers and stuff like that. I appreciate y'all for the support, for being patient, man. But, man, it was getting good, man. We was going to dive into, we was going to get into the spirituality expert, all right? You can't manifest if you're full of trauma, right? Like, you got to address your shadow work, all right? That's what the video is saying. So we definitely about to dive into this video. Shout out to everybody that be sending me DMs, all right? This video is an interview done by Lewis Howes, how I can't even pronounce his last name, right? And he's interviewing Billy Carson, right? And in here, right, it says, in this mind-expanding conversation with four-dimensional thinker Billy Carson, discover the precise manifestation formula that transforms conscious thoughts into multi-million-dollar reality through consistent action while learning powerful techniques to break generational trauma patterns by processing emotions through self-forgiveness and meditation to literally rewire your DNA. And what got us talking about this the last time, right? It was us speaking about the parenting, right? The kids, how how it is like a spiritual warfare between parents and kids, right? The respect, the neglect, the abuse. And by the way, shout out to them parents out there, all right, that are in their kids' lives and stuff like that, all right, that don't pass down, trauma onto their kids and then turn around and ask, what in the world is going on? All right. Like, listen, even if you're the best parent, all right, in the world, in the beginning of us parenting, we all make mistakes, right? And what people fail to realize is that we love to think that we're just the teachers. You see where I'm coming from? That we're not students. But what if I was to tell y'all, right? And I don't get tired of telling you this, that we're not just teachers, that we're also students, all right? That our kids are our teachers and we are these students, right? As time passes by, our kids teach us just so many things, not just about them, but about life and about ourselves, right? And I know a lot of people don't want to, hear this or talk about it, but I'm not here for everybody. All right. I'm here for whoever is willing, to receive a message, to have a conversation. Hey, let's talk about it. Because like I said the other day, look, listen, man, we've talked about so many things on these panels, right? From abuse to relationships to trauma, healing, predators, policies, politics, presidents. Listen, um betrayal. Listen, we've talked about so many things, all right, and how it's a vice versa thing, like the yin and yang, all right. And sometimes you're like, damn, what else can we talk about? You see where I'm coming from? People are like, you want to go live? I'm not so sure. I don't even know what to talk about. But we did leave off right on this video, so I want to pick it up. I want to pick up on the video. We're gonna start it over because that live was really like, it's still up, right? But it got so interrupted that it's like, damn, let's start this drawing over a little bit, right? And we wasn't so far into it, right? Because I got to see 5 minutes of the video, right? And then we thought we got to, at least play at least like 10 minutes of the video almost, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to review and react to this video. There's going to be a few parts to this, John, because this interview is 2 hours long. All right. And today we're gonna at least do an hour and a half. All right. Somebody wants to come up, chop it up with a shorty. All right. Just ask to drop the link. I will drop it. All right. But I'm just on this, John. Like I said, like, listen, all like it's just thoughts from my mind, off my chest, and into the mic. All right. But like I said, what brought this up is everything that's going on around us. Right. We've had so many conversations, and I'm not going to sit here and lie. Right. I feel as though, right, until we figure out how to deal with the mental health and how can I say it? Not just the mental health, but the poverty, right? I'm gonna put it like this: families not being able to work, being stuck, all right, the issues within the families, in the communities and stuff like that. We're not going to get rid of crime, right? Like people say it and they make it seem like it's so easy. People can't even seem to figure out how to heal what's going on within their lives. A lot of people out here pass their trauma on down to their kids. You see where I'm coming from? So I was taught, right, the way not to forget, right, the way, to pass down that knowledge is by, reclaiming your voice, keep speaking. You see where I'm coming from? Don't let nobody ever censor you. Right. Another thing that I was taught is, right, that in reality you could do anything that you put your mind into, right? You see where I'm coming from? Like people sit here and want to dictate and tell you what to do, but as a person, look, listen, we're gonna have people around you that are gonna say they're gonna be envious. They're gonna want to be. They're gonna want to do the things that you do. They are gonna look in the mirror and ask themselves, like, damn, if I could do the same thing they're doing, but why am I not at their level? Why am I not accomplishing the goals that they're accomplishing? And it's because they're too busy trying to be, trying to walk a mile in somebody else's shoes without wanting to bear the cross that that person bears. All right. And that's something that constantly happens a lot. A lot of people still haven't, how can I say, healed from their past traumas, whatever trauma it is, right? We listen, we have to we have to learn, right, to accept that the system, all right, wasn't built for us. Right? The system is there. Right? It's not broken. It's doing exactly what it's meant to do. All right. It's not here to protect us like we was led to believe at one point. All right. It's more towards power control. All right. And I don't know. A lot of people know this, but it's kind of like I don't know. It kind of like they put it on the side. They leave that little piece of knowledge lingering in the shadows. Right. Hold on a second. I got the comments turned off. Blessings, blessings. We got Vince Edits. We got Mike Turner on this drawing. Right. Um, and they forget, like, damn, man. Sometimes, I need to take accountability. I need to realize, look, listen, when I'm on this drawing, right, not comprehending what's being said to me. So the little stories that I'm making up in my head, see where I'm coming from. You know how Randy Orton has that song, right? His little intro says, I hear voices in my head. They tell him what to do. You see where I'm coming from? And I feel as though there's a lot of people like that. They hear so many voices in their head that tells them what to do, and they just do it. They just react. It could be emotion. It could be so many things. You see where I'm coming from? But listen, I'm going to put it like this. This system, right, that we keep thinking that is meant to protect us. Well, I'm going to stop saying we. That people keep thinking that it's meant to protect us, all right? It's not broken. It's doing what it's meant to do. We need to learn how to embrace it, all right? Go around it, work around it, pick ourselves up, all right? Shake it off, all right, and figure out what it is that we want in life. Like, listen. So many people come on this drawing, and like I said, they just want to judge, right? They want to walk a mile in people's shoes, right, without bearing people's cross. And then they want to sit here and ask you, who are you, right? And listen, I have a poem right here real quick. I'm going to get it out the way and read it, right? It's called, Who Are You? And it goes like this. Who are you to judge me if you haven't walked a mile in my shoes? My fragile heart was once warm. Now it's cold as ice. You don't know the battles I fought, the tears I've cried in the dark. My scars run deep within, so don't try to understand. I may seem distant and guarded, but that's my way of surviving. My past has shaped me into who I am. So who are you to judge? We ain't nobody to judge nobody on some real shit. And a lot of people are out here throwing, rocks at glass windows. You see where I'm coming from? And hiding the hand. You see, like, people funny and shit. Like, you can't cover the sun with one finger, all right? Listen, what is done, all right, out in public, you see where I'm coming from? I'm not put it like this, my bad. What's done in the dark comes out to the light. My bad. I was about to misphrase that shit real bad. Listen, don't judge me, all right? I'm up. I'm still with my wake and bake, all right? I'm getting it together, but I wanted to do this live because I really left y'all flat 2 days ago, all right? I had so many things to do, all right? I got caught up. I even tried to hop on Yaya's panel yesterday, all right? Sure, Claire. And, I was up there for a minute, but so many distractions. I can't really, So when I get the chance to come on this John and speak my mind, I try to do my best, all right? But yeah, like I was saying, man, the stuff that we're seeing here on social media, all right, like, the stuff with the Carlissa situation, all right, unhealed trauma, all right, the women that you see on this app bashing men and women, unhealed trauma, all right, the men coming on this app, all right, saying the things that they say, unhealed trauma. But one thing I could sit here and say is, I don't know why men come online and get messy, but women do it too, so let's not get testy on some real shit. That's how it be. Listen, that's why I mind my business and I stay on my lane. All right. I be on chats, right? As a subscriber, I laugh, I giggle, I joke around with the content creator, right? And you do got some people that take things, to the left, to the side, to a whole nother level. And it's like, you here to have fun or you here to be pissed off. All right. I face my demons. If you haven't faced yours, I think you need to log off. All right. Find some time to heal. You see where I'm coming from? Like I'm about to do. Right, like I feel as though, like, listen, my head is a little crowded, all right, so this gonna be my listen. I know that I do a lot of lives on the weekends, but I don't think I'm gonna be doing lives for the next couple of days. Maybe I might come on like on Monday or Tuesday, but I don't know. I might hop on other people's lives, but I feel as though I need to get my thoughts together. It's like everything is piling up together. You see where I'm coming from? A lot of us forget to take care of our mental health. You see where I'm like, and it's crazy. Right. And when I come on this app, I want to make sure that I'm not sitting here bleeding on motherfuckers that didn't cut me. All right, because that's how you start. How can I say a whole bunch of bullshit, a whole bunch of drama with people that you don't even know from a can of paint? Some of us ain't got time to sit here and babysit no one's egos. You see where I'm coming from? So it's kind of like, like I tell people, man, if you can't handle it, listen, go elsewhere. Like when it comes to my panel, I've had people tell me, oh, Ray, you should do this, you should do that. No, I should not do that. I should not do what the fuck you want me to do. I do what the hell I want to do. This is my channel. It's like my home. You see where I'm coming from? I got to be cautious with who I let up on my panel and who I, have conversations with. So once I notice there's disrespectful motherfuckers on this app, I block those. I don't got time to sit here once again, all right, to babysit egos. I'm not no one's God, priest, therapist, or babysitter, all right? I'm not no one's mama or no one's daddy. All right, when we come on this, John, we bring awareness. We have conversations. You can't even have a debate on this app without people getting all up in their feelings. You see where I'm coming from? So all that is nothing more than just a sign of trauma. You see where I'm coming from? The video that we're about to react to, right? Like, it's Bill Carson. I think it's his name, all right? Mind y'all, I don't know who he was, all right? Y'all sent me this on my DMs, and yes, we're going to review and react to it, all right? It's the spirit, it's called You Can't Manifest If You're Full of Trauma. Address Your Shadow, all right, work. And I feel as though that, with just the title alone, me watching 5 minutes of this video, I get it. You see where I'm coming from? And as I was growing up, even though I was pushing a lot of people away, those people that I tried to push away never left my side. They stood there. All right. A lot of them are still here to this day. Did I lose a few friends and a few people that I thought that was, there for me, that I thought it was going to rock out for me? Yeah. That's why, that phrase that was taught to me when I was younger, listen, a friend ain't nothing but a dollar in your pocket. Once that dollar is gone, so is they. All right. You never know who is really there for you until you are alone. You see where I'm coming from? In the dark, picking yourself up. See, the problem is not how hard you fall. All right. The thing is how fast you could pick yourself up, shake it off. All right. And keep it pushing. All right. You can't let no one knock you off your hinges. You can't show your weakness. And what's crazy is you can't show your weakness too much and you can't show your strength too much. That's the crazy part about it. It's like you have to find a balance in between. And people still haven't figured that out. All right. A lot of people, all right, haven't matured. This is something that, that Yaya, all right, Sheriff Clara, for those of y'all that don't know who that is, all right, I'm still trying to get used to her name, all right. But shout out to Yaya, Sheriff Clara, all right. Make sure y'all go check her out on all 3 of her channels, Dish and Dirt Uncut, and come get this smoke, all right. Listen, man, I love me some of Yaya. I love watching her, all right, funny as shit, all right. And I'm not putting a pause on that shit, all right. Let's have some real conversations. I'm tired of people's heads being in the gutter on some real shit. But Yaya is funny as shit, all right. I could sit here with my man and laugh at the shit she says. All right. I love watching Sheriff Clara. I'm not gonna sit here and deny that fact. So make sure y'all go check her out. But all right, that's something that she'll say. That's something that she says on her panel. Miss Your Thoughts, all right, Miss Hakimi. I know blended realms healing would say something like that. All right. Like, listen, a lot of people, all right, haven't matured, haven't figured out how to heal. All right, they just deflect. And it's crazy how you can come on this app, right? And, I hear a lot of people say, well, a lot of women on these apps don't know how to carry themselves. Well, I see a lot of women with strength. So many women on this bitch talking about women empowerment, but where the fuck is the women empowerment? Where is the strength? Where is the unity? Because I see more women on social media bashing men and women, all right, and not coming together. But they talk about women empowerment. Women need to come together. Like, what? Listen. All right, it may sound fucked up, and I know a lot of women. Listen, women stay getting mad at me for the shit that comes out my mouth, but I don't give 3 fucks about it. And I've shown it. All right. Like, people have sat here and cussed me out, and I've laughed in their face. They're like, oh, you can't bother me. You can't hurt me. You can't do what has already been done to me. You can't hurt me more than what's already been done to me in my past. Once again, I face my demons. Have you? I know exactly where I'm going. Do you? I know what I want. Do you? Some people can't figure out what they want in life. All right. So let's get into this video. All right. But before I do, my bad. I keep before I do get into the video. All right. Listen, man. I want to tell y'all parents out here with kids that have autism, right? That they come, they go from being kids to becoming adults. All right. You gotta let your kids breathe. Y'all gotta let them learn and understand this world. All right. Because when you're not here tomorrow, all right, your child is gonna know only you. Especially as an adult with autism, all right, they need to learn how to get around. All right, you're there to guide your child, to protect your child, to nurture your child, not to control and manipulate your child. All right, we have to teach them. And this is something that I just learned, which I'm about to do with my son. All right, for a lot of parents that don't know, please go register your child when they turn 18, 19 years old. I didn't know. I just learned it. All right. Go register your child. All right. In the government, let them know that he or she, all right, have autism. And this is for just in case you're not here. All right. The city, the government, people around will know what to do, and how to help your child. All right. For your adult kid, all right, however you want to put it, all right, and how to deal with them, all right, because they're, a lot of them, regardless of anything, yes, they could try, they have normal lives, but they still need, that person, the parent or whoever, the guardian, all right, to back them up, all right, they need that support. So I'm letting a lot of parents out here know that if you didn't know that you have to register your child as autistic, right, in the government, please go do so. I think there's a few places you could go do it. I would suggest go check out the Social Security Administration office, all right, to get more information on that. I'm not sure where y'all watching from, but I'm from North Philadelphia. So this is something that I'm just learning. So make sure y'all go register your child. Something was to happen to you today. You want to make sure that, the people around your child knows how to deal and handle with your son or daughter. All right. But with that being said, guys, all right, let's get into this video. And let's hear what Billy Carson has to say about manifesting, all right, in order to heal from trauma. I mean, about manifesting and healing from trauma, my bad.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. We're on the same frequency. I can tell already. So the universe itself, in my personal opinion, based on my research, made of light that we can't particularly detect all of it. Like, for example, dark energy, dark matter, what's creating this expansion of the universe. But the universe as a whole, even the things or the items that appear to be solid within the universe, in my opinion, are all made of light. And we learned this through the table. This table is made of light. This table, for example, is a light frequency that's slowed down. And so we give the illusion, or we get the illusion that it's solid, but it's just a frequency wave that has been slowed down, that's been collapsed into the illusion of solidity that we're calling a table. And we don't touch the table. We only have electromagnetic repulsion from this table. So the electrons orbiting the atoms within this table are repelling the electrons orbiting the atoms in my fingers. So you never really touch the table. You get a repulsion effect. And everything in the universe is pretty much set up that way. And what's incredible about the universe is human beings only can see less than 1% of the light spectrum. So we have this grand spectrum that we believe that we're taking in, but we're seeing a sliver of reality. We can't see ultraviolet, multispectrum, infrared, gamma rays, all these incredible frequencies, microwaves, just microwaves floating over.
Damn. I see why Yaya says, y'all not ready for her conversations. Y'all not ready, man. I wish she would bring it out though, man. Like, listen, Yaya is like the female version of the word on some real shit here on YouTube, man. Like the female version of Papa Duck. I'm not gonna sit here and lie.
All around us right now, we can't detect them. We'd be too distracted. But so the universe is very intelligent. It understands what can we process, how much can we process to navigate through this realm. But those other waves are there. And these waves are what? Waves of light. So we know that through the double slit experiment in quantum physics that was done, that particles decide, electrons that were shot through the little slit in the double slit experiment, decide to be waves of potential or collapse themselves into digital bits of matter or information. And because of this, we understand that the entire universe is a wave of potentials. So waves of light moving out until a conscious observer collapses them into the illusion of reality.
Wow.
And so that's what we're living in, a fractal holographic light matrix.
That's the universe.
That's the universe, right?
How many dimensions are in this universe?
So the dimensions, so quantum physicists and theoretical physicists like Michio Kaku have been noted stating that there's at least 11 dimensions to create this entire realm, this universe, and that this universe is dimensions stacked right on top of each other. So at a 90-degree angle right above the third dimension is a fourth, and a 90-degree angle is a fifth. They're compactified. And yes, for anyone listening, that's a real word, compactified, and right on top of each other.
Big. All right. Basically, he just said for some of y'all out there that are dumb as shit and slow, all right, the word does exist. It's not a made-up word like some people do on this app, all right? It does exist.
They're less than even a Planck length away from each other. And the only thing separating these dimensions is a frequency. So imagine a being in a higher dimension, right? Being able to obtain the subatomic frequency of the third dimension. That being may be able to technologically maybe shift its frequency to match this dimension and walk right in. Could be apparitions, paranormal activity, aliens, who knows, right? We ourselves are trapped within this realm. We don't have the capability of changing our subatomic frequency to match higher dimensions. We just haven't developed that technology, or maybe we don't know it exists, but
we haven't figured out.
Man, with all the stuff they got out here, you telling me, yeah, you're right. We don't know if it exists, but I feel as though deep down inside of me, something's telling me, yeah, dude, we know it does. All right, it's out there. In a few years, they're gonna come and tell us, well, we just discovered something new. Shit.
How to do it, yeah.
Right. The general public may not know how to do it.
Is this kind of like, if you could give an example for someone that they might be listening or watching right now thinking, I'm already lost. Is this kind of like in Interstellar, when McConaughey's character goes through the black hole and there's like kind of different stacked dimensions of time and space?
Correct.
Continuum? Is that
he gets to the black hole, he hits the event horizon. Now he's in time dilation, right? His spaceship falls apart. He falls into something called a tesseract, which is a fourth dimensional hypercube, or in ancient times known as Metatron's cube. Meta, sounds familiar?
Yeah, it sounds a lot familiar. That's what we're going through right now. But this reminds me of something that a teacher was teaching. I mean, listen, I had a teacher, and I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, in the third grade. All right. And I think I've spoke about her before. All right. Listen, she used to love the fact that we used to come in that John and call her mom. All right. Because she made it feel like home. She used to tell us, like, listen, I want y'all to think of, a school like y'all second home. All right. Y'all come in here. Some of y'all eat breakfast. Some of y'all eat lunch. We interact. We play games. We teach. We do this. We do that. All right. She's like, I want y'all to think of it as y'all second home. So we used to always come in and we used to call her mom on some real shit. Some of us used to call her Mom Dukes. And I remember this teacher got in trouble one day for teaching a curriculum that, wasn't on, she wasn't supposed to teach. But anyways, she used to say this, right? She used to talk about the third dimension, the fourth dimension. And I think when back in that time, if I'm not mistaken, around the third grade, she was talking about us being in the second dimension. So it's crazy that I'm hearing this now, and he's saying that we have just reached the third dimension, 3D stage.
In that fourth dimensional hypercube, he's in a higher dimension than the third. So from any dimension higher than the third, you can see the past, present, and future all at once.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Any dimension higher, or is it just
any dimension higher?
Fourth, fifth, sixth, 11.
Doesn't matter. Right. Doesn't matter.
Interesting.
For example, we're in the third dimension. If you draw a line, well, you're witnessing the dimension of that single dimension. If you connect those lines and draw a house, you can see into every room of the house from the third dimension.
That's wild.
Right? And so you can draw people in different rooms in that house, and you can witness those people within that two-dimensional structure. From a higher dimension, it would be like someone looking at you in your house at different times of your life, which is what happened in Interstellar.
Interesting.
They can see you as a
Very
kid, a
interesting.
teenager, a grown adult, a married man, whatever, from different perspectives, all at the same exact time.
So Interstellar, kind of the movie itself, was it kind of made up sci-fi, or was it based on scientific?
Damn. Okay. Wait. He said Interstellar. Okay, so he was describing a movie Interstellar. All right. What is the movie Interstellar? And where can I watch it? This came out in 2014. Oh, we can watch this on Netflix. Oh, all right. I'm gonna watch this later on tonight. Interstellar. I ain't see this movie. I'm definitely about to watch it to see what it's about. Uh-oh.
Scientific evidence we have today.
Is based on perspectives, all at the same exact time.
So Interstellar, kind of the movie itself, was it kind of made up sci-fi, or was it based on scientific evidence we have today?
Is based on scientific evidence we have today, which is what made it so incredible and why it resonated with so many people, because all this knowledge is resonating inside of every atom in our body already. You know, and what does it mean to humanity, right? What does this mean? It means that we're part of something incredibly great. We're part of something so vast. Some people will may hear this and think, well, that means we're just a speck of dust. No, it means that we're connected to everything throughout the entire known universe, even connected through everything. And it's a big grand play going on, and we have a huge part, a huge role in that. And everything we do here impacts the entire multiverse.
Really?
Yeah. The butterfly effect.
That's
That movie.
what the universe is.
I love that movie.
It's a living being also.
The universe
Wait,
is
It's a conscious being.
really.
Yeah. So if you look,
Hold on, wait a minute. He just, well, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Yeah. Mother Nature. He said living being, not a human being. So, hey, Ray, fall back, sit down. All right, calm down, stay in your lane, and listen.
look at the Hermetic principle,
The universe is a being.
it's a conscious being.
Really.
Yeah. So if you look at the Hermetic principles from ancient times, as above, so below, right? Also looking at it maybe even from perspective of the microcosm and the macrocosm, understanding that everything is made of fractals, right? We're living in a fractal holographic matrix, and we're just a fractal of the universe as a whole. Now look at the human body, right? We have a brain. The brain is encased in this skull, which is in darkness. But the brain itself doesn't know really what's going on the outside. It has to connect with its friends, sight, taste, the sensory, touch, you know, everything else, and say, and hearing, go out and get the data. The friends go out and collect data, right? But they themselves can't decipher the data. They have to transmit that data via electrical signals back to the brain. The brain takes all that data in, sorts it all out, and projects
That's
a
true.
hologram up to what it believes is going on the outside. And we navigate this matrix based on a holographic projection from collected data. Now, the universe as a whole, go to the macro, is doing the same exact thing. When you zoom out from the universe, you see the way that the clusters of galaxies are compiled. It looks like neurons in a brain.
Really?
Yes. The exact same structure of the inside of a human conscious brain. And then what's incredible.
But I have a question, right? And I don't think nobody's ever been able to, you know, I got a little headache. It'll go away. But anyways, right? I don't think anybody's ever been able to, you know, answer this question, right? If we can't seem to, you know, break the surface of the earth, right? And I feel as though they do it through the water. Everything is through the water. They found something underneath the earth. They can't break that dome up there, right? Like, how in the world did y'all get images from how the world looks from the outside if y'all can't even crack the, what is it called? Oh my God, I can't even get it out now. You know what? Let's play a little bit. I don't know why this headache just hit me, but it did. But nobody's ever been able to answer that question. How did y'all get pictures of the earth from the outside if y'all can't really leave the earth? We're trapped in this, you know, how can I say, this snow globe type thing. Unless y'all figured it out through the water, some type of portal. But, you know, let's continue. I mean, everything else, it makes sense. But the when they start talking about, oh, well, when you zoom out the universe, you know, the pictures and this and that, how did y'all take those pictures? See, that's where I'm like, okay, now I'm questioning. But, you know, let's continue. All right. Everything else I agree with. All right. Somehow, some way we here. All right. The matter, the mass, the science. Yeah. But y'all have not scientifically proven that y'all could break through that dome. All right.
is you realize that the universe itself, being conscious, it doesn't really know what's going on here in the third dimension, but it has its friends, human beings, cats, dogs, a rose, a blade of grass, even a rock. And what is it doing? Everything we know in the third dimension vibrates at a specific frequency. You can't even come to a complete halt. You can't make an atom stop vibrating. Everything vibrates. It's impossible to get to absolute zero unless you create these artificial laboratory conditions. So that means that everything is resonating and vibrating and sending information, in my opinion, back to the source.
Even if something's dead, it's still alive.
The atoms in something dead are still vibrating because they're still atoms. They may convert themselves into something different, like a dead thing may
moving.
It's moving, right? Even the atoms inside of burnt carbon, they're vibrating. The atoms inside of a dead body, they're vibrating, and they're getting ready to be recycled back into this grand system of life. And could become something else. This transformation occurs, right? Nothing really ever truly dies; it just transforms.
So would you say the universe then has its own set of consciousness, or its own consciousness, and its friends are?
Yeah, that's wild. You know what that just reminded me of that. You know, the famous "it" phrase. You know, nothing that dies in dairy, you know, really dies. Damn. I need to stop watching horror movies.
The planets, the stars, beings, trees, water,
right?
And it's sending data to the universe.
No, we're sending data back to yes, correct.
It is
and everything else is sending data back. We're transmitting it back because consciousness is not local to the brain; it's downloaded as a stream. The brain itself, the physical brain, is a quantum computer to process that data and harness that stream of spiritual energy. But we also are two-way. When we're transmitting back, what is it like to be Billy Carson? What is it like to be Lewis Howes? What lessons has Billy and Lewis learned throughout their entire life? The experience. What experiences are they having, good and bad? It's collecting information.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're in the 3D right now.
Yeah.
What is the difference between the 3D and the 5D?
Okay. That's a great question. So the third dimension, I'll tell you first how scientists or what physicists believe this actually is. They created in a laboratory 8th dimensional quasi crystals. And those 8th dimensional quasi crystals, when turned to a particular angle, cast down a 4th dimensional quasi crystal. And when they twist that to a particular angle, it casts out a sphere, which is a shadow, a light shadow, a shadow of light from a higher dimension, which they believe is our known universe. So that we're talking about now beginning to understand the basic mechanism that's creating the universe itself. Okay. So with that being said, understanding that, we now know that as you go up in dimensions, you're going up into higher levels of perception of realities. So you have the 4th dimension, which people used to think it was time, but that's just an hour that we utilize here in the 3rd dimension. Technically, there is a 4th dimension called a tesseract. And above that tesseract, you get to the 5th dimension. It gives you even a more broader expansion of or understanding or view of what's really going on.
And I hope you break it down and tell us how we get to the 5th dimension. How do we even get to the 4th dimension? All right. Because back in the 90s, according to my teacher, my 3rd grade teacher, we was in the 2nd dimension. All right. Everything was 2D. We was, transitioning to the 3rd dimension where everything was about to be 3D, and they was teaching us all that, right? 3D. They took us to the computer classes, taught us how to deal with the computers, a whole bunch of stuff there. Me and numbers didn't get along, so I didn't really pay attention. I'm not going to sit here and lie. Don't ask me what's the fraction of something, because I'm going to sit here and turn it into a history lesson.
All the realms beneath it, in itself and also beneath it.
Wow.
So every time you step up a dimension, it's like becoming an ascended master. You're moving higher and higher through levels of consciousness. We know that even gravity, through science, they believe it's streaming down from higher dimensions all the way down to the 3rd, making it one of the weakest forces here in the 3rd dimension, because it's truncating all the way down through these other higher dimensions as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He confused me again.
Is it possible for humans to get out of the 3rd dimension into a higher dimension?
There's a couple of different tablets that talk about this. In the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, he talks about being able to do this, being able to transcend dimensions through consciousness and actually having this out-of-body experience to take you to higher dimensions. He even gives the code words, which are really frequencies to utter to get through the gates of Arulu.
Wow.
Other ancients in India and Egypt and Asia, and even the indigenous cultures of the Aboriginals in Australia all have
I mean, shit, I already astral project. I know I could astral project. I know that. Shit, I be in my baby daddy's dreams every night. Shit, man. How I know? The way he screams my name. Shit, we ain't doing nothing. I'm right here like, oh, snap. Like, hold up. Wait a minute. Let me go to sleep. See what I'm doing over there. Yeah, wait a minute. No, but on some real shit, I feel as though I always said that. I be feeling like, I don't know, like when we sleep, but how do you, like, right? If when you're asleep, right, you're supposed to be unconscious, right? You're not dead, but they say you are, right? I mean, it's crazy. Like, look, listen. I'm not even going to get into that because I'm not an expert. You know, all I'm going to do is confuse y'all, but I understand it. Can I break it down? No, the fuck I can't. But anyways, yo, this shit is deep. That's why I like diving down these rabbit holes, all right? I like soaking in the knowledge. Don't worry. I be connecting the dots, all right? I just can't break this joint down. That's why I use these videos, all right? But I completely understand where he's coming from. But, yo, I swore when I was younger that I used to be in, you know how they had that SpongeBob episode, right? Where SpongeBob went to sleep and he was just hopping into people's dreams. I swear I used to be able to do that, but I don't know. I think somewhere along the line I forgot how to do that shit. But I definitely know I can astral project in my baby daddy dreams. Shit.
I have this same understanding that it's possible to transcend dimensions. They call it like becoming an ascended master,
wow,
or becoming a sage, and understanding how to tap into these higher dimensions. What's interesting is the Brain Institute just a couple of years ago discovered that the human brain connects to 11 dimensions.
That's crazy.
Consciously, we are connecting. So that synapses, when they were watching these synapses, unexpectedly, they would vanish from the third dimension.
So if we make it to the 11th dimension, would I become like Lucy? Oh, shit. But anyway, let me give a shout out to L Boogie is in the building. Make sure y'all go check out L Boogie. Great conversations, great topics, man. Subscribe, share his videos, man. Hype his lives up because I feel as though his topics need to get out there. All right. We got Mr. Oates in the building. Big shout out to Mr. Oates, man. Make sure y'all go check out Dish and Dirt Uncut. All right, make sure y'all go check out Yaya Sheriff Clara. All right, on all 3 of her channels, you will catch Mr. Oates over there. All right, or if the answer opens up the panel, you'll catch him over there too. Now, the other panels that he be hitting, I don't know. Where else you can catch Mr. Oates, I'm not sure. But anyways, those are the 2 panels that I know y'all can really catch him on. Let's continue with this, man. Big shout out to Elvin.
Go somewhere, and then they would They also saw something incredible. That synapses, when they were watching these synapses, unexpectedly, they would vanish from the third dimension. They would go somewhere, and then they would reappear randomly. So they're now hypothesizing that the human mind is also quantum entangling with information, data, or something else in another place, and then reappearing here. So It just gets deeper and deeper.
I guess, where are dreams then? What dimension are our dreams when we sleep?
That's incredible. I would always think that, from my perspective, that dreams are probably closer to reality.
Really?
Yeah. I think that, because the ancients, like the Aboriginals, call this dream time in this realm now. The Hopi tribe calls this sleepy time. And what they're alluding to is that this reality, that this thing that we think is reality, is not real, but that we have a higher self in another realm. And that a lot of the times the voice we hear in our head that we are proclaiming as this other source, or maybe sometimes even other deity, really is our own self talking to us.
Wow.
And that there is another version of us that exists in a higher dimension, and we're spiritually connected with that higher source, and that dreams potentially are glimpses of higher dimensions, or being able to access some of these higher dimensions through consciousness.
Damn, that's deep. Like, when I was watching this video, right? Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and say, listen, it seems like he knows what he's saying, all right? I'm not gonna sit here and lie, all right? Like, I was reading, and I know I was reading something. I also did a live on it, and I found a video on the stuff that I was reading, right? On how, how I was saying earlier, how they say, in the show, the series, Welcome to Dairy, right? Well, actually, the movie, the book, everything, right? Once you die in dairy, those that die in dairy never really die in dairy. They stay there, right? But you know how throughout time, right, they say that, you know, when people die on this earth, right, they don't really die. They did your transition, right? And they, you know how we got allegedly, you know, the parallel universes and all that stuff, right? They say that when you die on one earth, right, I'm gonna put it like that, right, on one dimension, right, you end up, you know, how can I say, I guess transitioning your soul, transitioning, being reborn on another one, right? Like you don't never really die, you just transition. You know where I'm coming from? It's kind of, I mean, it's crazy. It's hard to break down, right? Like those that know what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to, you know, put out there. All right. But that's deep. Like if that's really true, it's crazy because you know how like it also it goes with the, you know, how they say deja vu, right? You could be here right now and it feels like you know, how can I say, you've already relived this experience that you're experiencing right now. Or how they say that the past, the present, and the future all is really one. And it's crazy how they got that on the Itch series too right now too. But anyways, right, back on topic, right? And you know how you can hear a voice here right now, right? And they say that it's something that's happened in the past in that same location. But in that past, right, in the same location that you're hearing what happened in that past, that person is feeling what you're, you know, what you're going through here in the present or hearing it, right? Same shit with the future. Basically, they're saying that the past, the present, and the future is all one, and we're just living different types of experiences. All right, it's like, you know, I don't know how to break it down, man. I know we were speaking on it one day, right? And I think Word was the one that broke it down, if I'm not mistaken. The Word or Gary Bust It Down. One of them two broke it down, right? On how, you know, basically, right, that what I was just explaining, right? The deja vu shit is kind of like, you know, the mistake that you make in that past life, you're kind of like experiencing it or feeling it over here, man. And listen, I'm not an expert, so I'm gonna stop right here, man. That's the best I could break it down, but it makes sense. But my thing is, how do we make it to the, you know, to the 11th dimension, right? If that's what we consist of, right? And if we do reach the 11th dimension, we haven't even reached the 4th dimension, right? Will we become like Lucy? And they say that if you make it to, you know, reach Lucy's level, shit, you disappear, you vanish like dust. I don't know. Let's continue. Let's see, man. Because according to this video, right, they said that you cannot manifest unless you heal from trauma. So does that mean that we stay stuck here, trapped, until we learn how to heal and move on? I mean, it's just a question, right? Like we look, listen, we're learning, all right? Listen, I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. I know a lot, right? But I don't know everything, all right? And I'm learning just like a lot of you. Some of you may know a little more than me, right? Like shit, it is what it is. That's the reality. I can't get mad at that.
You have so much content online that I've seen. We talk about these kind of, you know, aliens and pyramids and kind of all these different things, different dimensions. But I think the stuff that I like the most that you talk about, and I think that my audience resonates with the most, is around manifesting their dream reality. Like they have an idea in their mind of what they want to create.
Yeah.
A business, a relationship, get their health to a certain level. They want to achieve an accomplishment in a sport or musical success, whatever it might be. They want to take something they have in their mind and alchemize it into the real world that we're in, if this is real, right? But they want to create it in this reality.
Yes.
And I'm curious, with all your studies, because you've been studying this for decades about kind of ancient wisdom, forbidden wisdom.
Yeah.
But also you've been studying modern philosophy and modern, you know, science as well.
Oh, yeah.
So what does the ancient wisdom you've researched and modern science taught you about manifesting?
Yeah. Well, that's a great question. See, the ancient wisdom, you discovered that there were these beings in the ancient Sumerian cuneiform tablets, and they were called the Anunnaki, and later they were called the Anunnaki.
I was going to say,
in there, some of them call themselves the ordainers of destiny. And what's so interesting about this is they actually had the capability of foreseeing potential outcomes based on whatever agenda they want to put out. But they would envision these potential outcomes. They would see them on this crystal tablet, which is so bizarre, first of all. This is 6,000 years ago, or maybe even more. But then they would, when they found the outcome that they wanted to happen, they would then create action steps toward that particular outcome, nudging that outcome into reality, collapsing it into the reality tunnel, making it a part of this third dimension while they're alive and living on that timeline. And I learned that really from them. You know, I had done this myself by accident as a younger kid, just coming up with the idea like, if I want something, I've got to put action steps behind it. And I remember I was at my house and living in Opelika down in Miami, Florida, an unincorporated Dade County, a very harsh neighborhood. And I was banned from leaving the front porch because the neighborhood was so deadly. But I was so tired of seeing my friends go to the ice cream truck. And I'm like, we're both poor. How can they get it every day? Like, how? And so I said to myself, I'm going to take a risk. And I got a Winn-Dixie milk crate that we had, and I loaded up all my toys, and I went door to door around the block and asked for donations for my toys, a penny, a nickel, a dollar, whatever. I just want to have money for the ice cream truck. And people were giving me money, these parents. When I got back to my front door, I actually had $13 in change. And I was like,
how old were you?
Wow. I was 7 years old.
7.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm sorry, 8 years old, or 8. Forgive me. 8 years.
It's a lot of money back in the 70s.
That was a lot of money.
As an 8-year-old,
yeah,
like,
that was a lot of money.
$13 at 8, you're rich.
Yeah, you're rich, and you had a lot of money because ice cream was like. I only wanted the bazooka bubble gums, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I had a conscious thought. I envisioned potential outcome would be I would have money in my hands to buy my gum from the truck, and I took action. So it's conscious thought multiplied by action equals manifestation, which I then read later in ancient text. That's what the shirt is. CT multiplied by A equals M. Conscious thought multiplied by action equals manifestation.
Wow.
That's the formula. And you can't get to that formula unless you go through that process. And these ancients knew this a very long time ago. And because they knew this, that reaffirmed in me, I can really create the reality that I want to be a part of. Yes, there will be things to come and blindside you. Yes, there will be things that will sidetrack you. Yes, there will be hurdles to overcome. But those things are all just problems that you have to find solutions to those problems. Instead of seeing those things as negative, or this thing is attacking me, or this is it, it's over for me. It's okay. We have a problem. Now, how can I be a part of the solution to this problem?
Wow.
And it's the trick is, how do you create solutions consistently to get to your end goal?
Yeah, and then I guess the follow-up question around that is, a lot of people don't even know what their dreams are, or they have a loose idea. I want to make $1 million. I want to lose weight, or whatever it is. It's not fully clear. It's like they have a desire, or they have a pleasurous outcome that they see others have that they want, but they're not clear. You talk about the ancients used to have, I guess, whether it was a real crystal ball or just their metaphors of like, hey, we could see it in our minds, in a crystal ball in our mind, 7 different outcomes of how our life could play out.
Correct.
If we wanted it, if we went this path and this path. And then you talk about the conscious thought and the action, the consistent action to go manifest and alchemize that idea and collapse time and space until reality meets that thought. So how important, when wanting to manifest your goals and dreams, are our thoughts, our words, and our actions?
Yeah.
Should we be loosey-goosey with our thoughts and words to others, to ourselves? Is it act once in a while? Is it, is it obsession? Like, how important are thoughts, words, and actions and manifesting our dreams?
So what's important is understanding the power of the thoughts and the words, because when you really understand cymatic frequencies, which are the vibrations created by sound, through science, we've discovered that those cymatics, which have then consciousness piggybacked on them, have the ability to change reality. You know, Dr. Masaru Emoto, the former scientist that created that water experiment, when he put water in jars and people would speak to the water, I love you, I hate you, and then you test it under a microscope, you see that I hate you didn't form into a nice crystal, but the I love you did form into a nice crystal. So let us know that conscious thought and cymatic that come out of your throat, you literally have a double-edged sword in your mouth, like it says in the biblical text. You can alter realities. And so when people talk to me and they find out about these trips that I go on, all these crazy places that I go visit and take tours to, they go, one day I might be able to go. Oh, I hope I can go. Man, I wish I can go. I don't have any money right now. I'm broke, but maybe one day I'll never be able to make it. They just canceled that reality from their future. They took that potential opportunity, that potential outcome, that superposition in quantum physics, and they collapsed it and they moved it out of the way. And yes, it will never happen if they keep that same mindset and they keep speaking those same words, because they've just collapsed it. They've talked to themselves. Their subconscious now believes what they said. Their cells took in that vibration and that frequency, and they've celebrated to that negative frequency. That means this is never going to happen, and they've accepted it. So they're going to do everything within their power to keep you in that particular frame where that never occurs or never comes into your timeline. But when you begin to realize these mistakes of mistalking and talking bad about yourself and not understanding that you're speaking your existence into reality, then you change your speech. And when you change your speech, you instantly start creating new connections in the brain. Your DNA begins to rewrite itself, and your cells begin to celebrate on the right frequency. And now you begin to bring these things into your reality.
What are the words we should never say about ourselves?
That's a fact, man. Hence, you could do anything you put your mind to on some real shit. You could do anything on some real shit, but people, for some reason, think they can't. All right, that's why I listen. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. All right, unless I want to do it, I'm gonna say I can't. I know I could do anything I want to do, but there are certain things that I just refuse to do. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I just don't want to. It's not with me. It's not within me. It's not in me at all. But some people, they'll just do it. And then they'll be like, but you haven't done it. Yes, I have. It's not my thing. All right. I've tried a lot of things. All right. And for me, it's not. I stick to what I can do. It's not that I can't do it. All right. It's like, I'm going to put it an example. I have a passion for bacon. All right. So I stick to the bacon more than what I do with the stovetop. Can I cook? Hell yeah. Listen, my family, friends love my cooking. The problem with me is I like bacon more. Me and the oven are best friends. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. All right. I hate science, but what's crazy is that what bacon involves science, measuring, all that. And people be looking at me when they be like, yo, how in the world is you doing that without measuring? I don't know. I was taught to measure without, how can I say, using any type of utensils. I measure by eyesight. And it comes out right. Don't ask me how. It's just in me. All right. I'm good at gardening. All right. I'm real good at planning. I'm good at taking care of the elderly. I'm good at doing so many things. You see where I'm coming from? Can I do everything that I know that I could do? Yes. It's just certain things I'm not giving my energy to. I don't see the point in me doing it. It's not for me. I don't enjoy it. I'm miserable. So I don't do it. Because how can I say, listen, when I was younger, I didn't care. I did everything and I gave it a shot. I gave it a try. I wanted to see if I was able and capable of doing it. And once I proved to myself what I was good at, you see where I'm coming from and what I could do, it was like, okay, now let's go on to bigger things. You see, I don't know. I listen. But when people say I can't do this, that's not true. You could do anything you put your mind to. You could achieve anything you want to achieve. Like a lot of us are good at so many things, but we want to sit here and imitate or mimic the next person next to us because they probably doing it, a little better than us, or they probably a little better than, you are. But if you notice that person has that, why can't you just figure out what it is that you're good at instead of trying to be that person? But, now I can actually say that phrase that I hate that so many people say at the wrong time. It is what it is.
I suck. I hate myself. I'm no good. I'm not good at this. Instead of saying things like that, I'm not good at this, or I suck, or I'm horrible, I'm a bad person, I'm crazy. All these things that we just throw around like it's not even a big deal. We don't realize how much we're hurting ourselves, a detriment to ourselves and even our body. We have to be, reword ourselves. It's something you're not good at. Don't say I suck at this. Say, I'm not that great at this, but I'm going to work to become better. Like, for example, I came down with pneumonia about now 10 weeks ago. I'm in like a couple weeks of recovery left on this, and I actually almost died in Turkey.
Wow.
Just a few weeks ago, I was in a near-death experience in the hospital going into septic shock.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy cow, man.
Pneumonia ain't no joke.
You could have rescheduled this.
That's okay. I rescheduled so much stuff already. I was like, I got to get back out there.
Wow.
But the point I'm making is every time somebody talks to me about it, I don't say, man, I'm still sick, man. I'm still suffering with this thing. I say, I'm coming along. I'm getting better. still suffering a little bit, but I'm working it out. I'm feeling a little bit better. My voice is coming back. My weight's coming back. It's just an understanding of, as you can see, it's affecting me a little bit, but it's an understanding of like, yeah, I'm getting better. And I'm telling my body consistently. And I lost 22 pounds in 2 weeks. I went down to 200 pounds, and now I'm back to 215. So, in that short period of time, I was able to gain back almost more than, the weight that I lost. And I can feel like I can get back to 225 if I really wanted to now.
Wow.
But again, it's just that belief that I have in myself. I'm back working out, back walking again, exercising, doing my thing. But I could have succumbed to this and told myself, this thing took me over. I almost died. And it's, I don't know. I don't have the energy, the strength to walk. My wife said, we got to go for a walk outside. I couldn't walk past 3 palm trees. That was like maybe 20 feet. And so from 20 feet to a quarter of a mile, to a mile, to 2 miles, all the way to 5 miles. Huh. But pushing and realizing this is going to make me better. I'm going to overcome this instead of succumbing to it. A lot of people, their talk allows them to consciously and subconsciously succumb to situations, to things that they want to bring into their life, to relationships, to finances, to whatever it is.
That's a fact. Listen, I'm going to use myself as an example, all right? 2 years ago, when I got into that accident, all right, a lot of people was there, all right? Listen, I was even on the live when we got into that accident. 2 years ago, I was told, all right, you're going to need the surgery. It might, you might end up paralyzed in the bed, right? But I took the second option, right? Screw the surgery. I'm not taking no surgery, right? And then they wanted to give me all these perks and oxycontins, muscle relaxers for the pain and all that. No, I told the doctors I wanted to do this on my own, all right? Like, I wanted to work out. I wanted to, how can I say, go to the chiropractor, hit the gym, right? And in the beginning, I didn't know that, already you can't, you can't do none of that stuff right away. You can go to the chiropractor, yes, but you can't go in heavy. You see where I'm coming from? Because it's like, damn, how in the world did I get 5 herniated discs? You see where I'm coming from, to the point where I was about to be paralyzed out of, getting hit from the back of a car, right? And I got whiplash. Like, all I did was my neck snapped, all right? My whole back cracked, and I hit my head on the window part of a car. You see where I'm coming from? So I remember that, and I don't know if it was the adrenaline or what. All right, I got out the car. I was on the live. Everybody's like, hey, go to the ER. I got this, because I was more worried about the mom and the child that was in the car with us. You see where I'm coming from? I was the passenger. My co-worker was driving. He was taking me home from work. So we get hit, boom, all that happens. Ambulance comes. Like, let them go on the ambulance. I'm calling my doctor right there. I was like, look, listen, I'm going to call my doctor. I'm going to make an appointment. I went the next day. I made an appointment for the next day. Mind you, when that night came, I started feeling the effects of that accident, like everybody was telling me. All right. My whole shoulder started swelling up. All right. The back of my neck, I couldn't move my arm. I had a sharp pain going from my spine all the way down to both my legs. All right. Them Jones hit my hips before it hit my ankles. All right. And like a numbing sensation throughout my fingertips and my legs. Right. To the point where I lost sensation on one leg and sensation on one arm. And they was like, oh, you gotta do the surgery. You won't be able to do that. And what I did was I focused. I didn't want no surgery, and I didn't want to be jerked up on no pills. All right. I wanted to do this the natural way. So I started going to the chiropractor, started getting the little massages on the back, so that I could be able to go and do my workouts, right? And it took a year and a half, like around the year, I started slacking a little bit because the pain and depression started kicking in, right? And I'm sitting here, like, I'm looking at myself in the mirror trying to pick myself up. Like, yeah, I have my fiance with me. He, listen, bless his heart, man. He's always there. I keep trying to tell people, man, listen, bless his heart. Because I don't know how he deals with my crazy ass, all right? But I'm guessing that the strength in me is what he loves the most. I'm not sure. You see where I'm coming from? But one thing I can sit here and tell you is that I picked myself up, all right? 2 years later, we're here talking, right? Like, 2 years of therapy, 2 years of, trying to like, damn, am I going to be able to go to work again? Am I going to be able to, you know, do the things I used to do before? And even though I cannot do the things I was, you know, doing before the way I used to do them before, all right, I'm back to myself, all right? I'm back. Like, they told me, Ray, you can't do the things you was doing before. Look, even though sometimes my John got muted, even though sometimes it hurts, right? Look at that, right? I'm flexible. I got my flexibility again. You know how I felt? I was somebody that was double jointed, all right? I could turn into a whole pretzel. And you telling me that I'm going to be bound to a bed? I can't ride my bike no more. I can't work out. I can't do the things that I was doing. I might not even be able to carry my daughter. You see where I'm coming from? Like, no. I fought. And they was telling me it was going to be the complete opposite. Another example that I got, all right? I have a brother that has spina bifida. In his whole life, they told him he was going to be bound to a bed. You see where I'm coming from? And even though, you know, listen, my mom was the way she was, but it's like I could sit here and tell people, man, she tried to be a mother with us, right? She wasn't all the way up there, but she tried, all right? She tried her best. But, you know, she got my brother the therapy that he needed. And by the age of 10, listen, my brother wasn't using no diapers, right? My brother was writing. My brother was walking, running, right? Talking to people. And even though his sentences, sometimes he sounds like he's a 3-year-old, 4-year-old talking, all right? He is 26 years old right now, all right? And he's able to work and do things on his own. Sometimes, you know, listen, he's always going to need somebody with him, all right? Because even though he's 26, not to be 27 years old, all right, his mental is not all the way up there. But he's smart as shit. He's not no dummy. And what I mean, like, his mental's not all the way up there. Look up what spina bifida is. You see where I'm coming from? All right, so it's like sometimes, like, his behavior, all right, like, it comes out a little bit. He acts like a little kid. But other than that, man, they say that you can't, or you're not capable of doing these things once they diagnose you with something, and that's not true. You're able to pick yourself up. You see where I'm coming from? Heal yourself and do the things that, you know, you was once able to do. I thought I wasn't going to be able to, you know, work out and do the things that I like to do. All right. Like, my daughter doesn't like dancing for no reason. She gets that from her mom. Like, I love dancing. I love music. When I cook, I dance. When I clean, I dance. Like, I'm not going to sit here. I sit here and I'll be making logos to my t-shirts and I'll be dancing while I'm on the heat press and making the designs on the computer. I ain't going to sit here and lie to y'all. Like, I love music. All right. But, we have to learn how to heal ourselves, right? I have a very dark past with me, right? And it's something that I always tell people, right? Our past doesn't determine who we are. My mom, all right, what she did in the past, how she was, doesn't determine who I am today and where I'm going. Right? The abuser that I had in my past doesn't determine who I am today and where I'm going. I had to learn how to heal myself physically, mentally, and spiritually in order to be here, right? And do for my kids. Because if not, I would have been passing down a generational trauma and turning around and asking everybody on social media and on these communities what's going on. I don't know why my kids are acting like this. I can't seem to understand, but yet the answer's in my face. Your behavior, apple don't fall far from the tree. You see where I'm coming from? Well, let's get back to this, all right? Because I want to play a few minutes. I see we're already into the hour, 17 minutes into this video, all right? Because I'm going to stop it at 2 hours. So let's get back to the video. Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
They don't understand how powerful their words really are.
Facts.
It's like you're commanding against yourself.
Correct.
I suck. I'm horrible. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm a horrible person. Like,
can't think like
I
that.
don't want to say that and just put it out there, but as an example,
we're saying it.
Well, it's the sad thing is I used to say that to myself all the time as a kid.
Yeah, I'm guilty
to myself, to others about me for like I don't know, the first 20 years of my life.
Yeah.
Maybe more consistently in times than others. And so I feel bad for the younger version of me that I treated myself that way. And I was blocking peace, freedom, opportunities. And I still was, quote unquote, successful and accomplishing a lot. And I'm always like, man, I wonder what I could have done. Had I been kinder to myself. Had I spoken differently about me. And had I viewed myself differently. And I think people get mixed up in thinking, well, I want to make sure I'm humble and I don't want to speak like I have this God or I have this big ego or something like that, or I'm untouchable. And so it's figuring out a balance of how to communicate with self in a loving, compassionate way without being like, I'm the best in the world and no one's better than me or whatever it is. It's there's a fine line to that.
There's a fine line. There's a gray line that you walk there. Because you always want to have confidence in yourself, the ultimate confidence in yourself. I think the biggest problem that a lot of people have, they don't believe in themselves. They really don't believe in themselves. And they're always looking for an outside source to come and fix their problem.
That's the fact.
They're the one that's going to fix the problem.
That shit goes hand in hand.
Someone that does not believe in themselves, in their dreams coming true, what is going to happen?
Well, they're going to go into this frequency where they're going to begin to attract everything on that same frequency. So everything that becomes a situation, that becomes another situation, they're going to have a problem for every solution, right? And it's just going to feel like they're going down this deep, dark hole and they can't climb back out. And they have to realize the first thing they have to do, number one, is they have to learn how to forgive themselves. This is the biggest reason why people don't believe in themselves, because they feel like they've done things that happened in the past and they could have did this way, they could have went that way. This was wrong, that was wrong, whatever it was. To go into the mirror and look at yourself and talk to yourself.
Yes.
Aren't comfortable with themselves.
It's so true, man.
And to say, man, you screwed up. But guess what? I forgive you. I forgive you and I bring love. I bring peace. I bring joy. Now let's analyze why we did this. Let's analyze what's behind this screw up. Okay. All right. We understand now. Now let's learn from this. What can we gain? What knowledge can we gain from this situation? And how can we not ever repeat this again? Now you've just been born again in the spirit. Now you've just grown consciously. And you can look back on your previous self and see you were here, but now you're here.
Gosh, a perfect example, it was a year and a half ago. I did this exact exercise. And my fiance, Martha, she told me to do it.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, nah, this is kind of silly or whatever. But I was in so much pain for 3 months. I had, when I was 16, I had 8 teeth removed.
Oh, wow.
4 here, then 4 wisdom. So 4 wisdom, but then 4 others, because when I was a teenager, my teeth were kind of crowded or whatever.
Okay.
And that was what they did back then. They removed all your teeth and you were supposed to have, I didn't get braces afterwards. I was supposed to.
Yeah.
And so my jaw kind of grew in and collapsed where my back teeth never touched. They still barely touch today.
Wow.
And so I waited 20 years until I put those 4 teeth back in with implants.
Yeah.
And I had to do bone grafts, and it was a painful process. And one of the implants ejected.
Oh no!
After a month, so it was in my bone. It just wasn't healing, and it came out one night. God, so they had to do it again. Oh man! 6 months later, all this stuff, right? And my head was throbbing for months. I was on like medicine, which I never take medicine, but it was in so much pain.
Have to take it. That's too much.
I had to. It was like throbbing constantly right here.
Yeah.
And after months, she goes, you need to look in the mirror and you need to forgive yourself. You need to forgive yourself for what you did to yourself 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You need to forgive yourself for doing this now, even though it's bettering you.
Yeah.
But you need to love and accept yourself for what you've been through.
Yeah.
And forgive.
Yeah.
And she was like, I want you to walk into the bathroom right now and don't come out until you follow the entire process that you just said.
Wow.
And I kid you not, I cannot make this up. I was in throbbing pain for months. Within moments after having this conversation, the pain was gone. I get chills just saying it because I was just like, I don't know many people. It's very vulnerable to look yourself in the eyes in the mirror and say, I love you. I forgive you. You matter. You're enough. You're deserving of peace, freedom, health, love. And I forgive you for everything you've done.
Wait, I don't know if that's true. Shit, I looked in the mirror so many times with a toothache and the ache never left. I'll be like, the pain is not there. All right, you got this, you're strong. Now, I've had to sit here and make myself some tea with some herbs, all right? And meditate, like, hey, You're gonna get better. Don't worry about this. And I start working. Then I grab me a book and I start writing. I'll be watching some podcasts or I'll be watching some movies. And I just write. Sometimes I go into my own past and I just write. Right? Even with the headache right there, right? And little by little it goes away. As crazy as it is, as I release those thoughts in my head, right? My headache goes away. Real shit. But you're telling me that you just did it one time and the pain went away forever. I don't know if you're trying to kiss Carson's ass, but I believe what Carson is saying more than what the bull is saying. But shout out to the bull, all right, because he's hosting it. No disrespect. It's just kind of like, wait, just one day? You are in deep with your spiritual self. Shit, I want to heal like that in one day. See, what Carson is saying makes sense. Because, see, this is stuff that we've been taught, and probably a lot of us have forgotten about it. But that right there, everything that he's saying has stuck stuck in the back of my head. It don't matter which of my elders said it to me, which one sat me down, all right, and had conversations with me. But those thoughts, those conversations are still there. All right. Like, it's like they attached it to, the back of my head. Like, they make sure, all right, they got this little sewing machine. All right, no, fuck the sewing machine, because my old heads, for some reason, they was good with just that needle and thread. But they grabbed that needle and thread. They're like, you gonna remember this? Hold up, I'm gonna sew this into this part of your brain. Now I'm gonna attach this one over here, and then I'm gonna attach this one over here. You gonna remember that. And every time you bump your head, our words are gonna, come out like light bulbs. All right, like that thought that you just couldn't get out your head and thought you forgot. But we right here. That's why they always say you gonna remember everything we say. Shit, yo.
Yeah.
It is so powerful. So I'm glad you said this because I have a personal experience to it
Incredible.
that got an instant result. I'm not saying it's going to be instant for everyone.
Yeah.
But I found instant relief of pain into freedom by forgiving myself, which was the first step that you talked about. So I think a lot of people, they always hold on to the past. They never forgive.
Right.
And so that's part of your, I guess, formula for manifesting what you want or for creating the life that you want to create is starting with forgiveness.
Yeah.
What if you've done horrible things?
Yeah. Well, you just have to still forgive yourself. I mean, horrible. If somebody, I'm from the 70s, right? I'm a 70s baby. So, falling down and getting a huge gash on my body or something like that and playing for the rest of the day is not even a big deal. And they go drink some water hose and wash it off with a water hose in somebody's house.
Yeah.
In this day and age that it happens, a lot of kids, they couldn't handle it. They'd panic, the mother would rush them to the hospital right away. They got to go get it disinfected and get stitches and injections of tetanus shots and everything. But does that make my trauma less than their trauma? We both received that trauma. I suppressed the trauma, and so that trauma is still in my body.
Mm-hmm.
When you go and do this, when you do this forgiveness, thing, what happens is you're clearing trauma from your body. You can't really manifest if you're full to the top of trauma. You need space.
Yes.
And as you begin to address the shadow work within yourself, the space becomes more and more clear. I had to learn this from my wife, Elizabeth. I mean, if without her, I wouldn't have even known. I was suffering from a lot of trauma from my childhood. Really, seeing people get murdered in the streets and seeing people get stabbed, from getting shot myself and stabbed in my back, from trying to protect my house in Miami. Just various things that have happened over time. And it just builds up a lot of trauma. Watching my parents argue a lot and a lot of like negativity in the house, dysfunctional situations. That trauma was still in my body, even though I was acting normal and I was suppressing and acting like, oh man, just whatever. That's just life. It's all good. That's how we grew up.
That's how a lot of people, all right, on this app and off this app be, all right. And what's crazy is I think Mr. Oates has said it, Gary Busted Down has said it, The Word has said it, Kwame Brown has said it, Papa Duck has said it, all right, Yaya has said it, all right, Ms. Yothos, I've said it, Ms. Akimi has said it, all right. We have a tendency, all right, of, how can I say, not realizing where we're wrong until we really bump that. We could bump it the first time, the second time, but until we don't bump it the third time is when people don't fucking realize shit. I don't know why, all right. This is why I say a lot, right? I treat life like a baseball game, all right? 3 strikes, you're out. Like, stop fucking up, right? Like, you burn your bridges. You already know you burn your bridges with a lot of people. Why keep doing the same shit over and over again? But some people gotta really, really hit their fucking head to learn a lesson. Why? That's the part I can't comprehend. Like, damn, you ain't get it the first or the second. Like people on this app, all right? People on this app, they come on this app and they oh, you just hurt my feelings. You just said this about me. No, listen to what the fuck I'm saying. You misunderstood what I'm saying now. You all up in your ego, mad as shit, thinking somebody coming at you, chumping you, talking about you, dragging you, bashing you, when in reality, nobody's even coming at you. All right, you just built up a little story in your head because you're hearing voices in your head. You heard me say what you wanted me to say, but you ain't listened to what the fuck I really said. So now there's a big, huge misunderstanding because in your head, you're thinking this when in reality, I was saying this. All right. And once people, it's crazy. A lot of people could talk, right? Some people talk in subliminals, right? Others don't. All right. Some do both. They'll speak the reality and speak in subliminals. Why they do that? Because here on YouTube, right, you get censored a lot. So you have to, work around certain things. All right. So like you want to say something about somebody, but you have to find the proper words, but you can't. So you use this word instead, and other motherfuckers take it as them. Like, for example, I'm gonna put it like this, right? One day I was speaking about, a cousin of mine that was living the best of both worlds, right? Had 2 females in his crib, right? And I did a whole life, like, because he was always complaining and whining and this and that. And I was like, look, listen, I don't know how some of you men, all right, can't handle 1 female, but want to handle 2. You see where I'm coming from? Man, a lot of men took that shit so offensive. And I'm sitting here like, look, listen, I'm not putting a band-aid on y'all boo-boos, all right? Learn from y'all mistakes, figure it out, and move on. I wasn't talking about you, but since you want to put the label on you, hey, I guess. Don't come crying to me, though, just because you don't understand what I'm talking about. You see where I'm coming from? Some people just can't say certain names because some people will sit here and get mad, or, some people don't want their stuff put out there. All right, like their names put out there, not their information. I said that wrong. Not the story that's being told, but they don't want their information being put out there. Sometimes people give them nicknames because of that. Others, you can't say their name because they'll sit here and they'll strike your page, talking about harassment and bullying, when it's not even that. You're just telling them they shit stink. You wanted my response, you got my response, you just couldn't handle my response, but now my channel got to pay for it. You see where I'm coming from? So some people just, I don't know. On some real shit. Like they not healed. Mentally, physically, spiritually. All right? In any type of way, shape, or form.
That's how it was back then. But no, that's really inside of me. You have to begin to go and address that trauma, and you have to look at it, which is hard. It's hard to look at it, and when it comes back up, man, it can get you real emotional. Become even a better manifester of my reality, to manifest, to really embrace my talents and my gifts and thrive with them. There was something holding me back. As good as I was doing, there was so much more, and there still is much more. It never ends.
So on a scientific level, what is our body made of then?
Well, the body primarily is made of about 70% water. And so when you go back to the water experiment with the cymatic frequencies and the conscious thought, well, what's your body doing? Your body, the water in your body is absorbing your conscious thoughts. See, every thought you think leaves your skull. It doesn't just go and stay inside this little area. It leaves the skull, and it leaves the skull in all directions.
Really?
Yes.
How does it break through the skull, the bone?
It's a wave of light. See, I could put an EEG cap on your head. Just sit it right on top of your head, and I can see all your thoughts on a computer. How'd that happen? The thoughts left your skull and went into the little sensors and then got sent to a computer. No surgery needed. So we know that this is leaving our head. Just like radio waves from the I Love Lucy show in the 1960s are still traveling through space as waves.
Wait a minute. Did he just say radio waves from I Love Lucy is still traveling to outer space? I'm gonna have to rewind this back a little bit. Wait. He threw me off on this. Maybe I'm not ready to receive what he's saying. But that's because I don't believe in little green and blue beans. All right. There could be something out there. All right. There could be. But you're not gonna sit here and tell me little green motherfuckers, all right, they kind of look like us exist. No. Okay. We're not doing that. All right, but Like I said earlier, see, like he just threw me off bringing that shit back in here. All right, maybe I'm not ready to receive it. All right, but how in the world can y'all get pictures of outer space if y'all have not been able to break through that dome? We know y'all ain't really go to the moon. It was a hoax, allegedly. I gotta say it. Yeah, wait. Like, wait a minute. No, you gotta hold back. You can't say certain shit and you know it. 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 And you know it. You know it.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use allows limited use of copyrighted material without permission from the copyright holder for purposes such as criticism, parody, news reporting, research, and scholarships and teaching. Disclaimer, the views and opinions expressed on this video or any video, including the Writers for Life Brings You to Let's Talk About It podcast, do not reflects on the opinions of y'all Shorty, Racheal, and the members of the Writer for Life podcast. Everything we talk about is allegedly and is our opinion. Our videos are not recommended for minors. Everything we talk about and do is meant for educational purposes and also entertainment. Please keep in mind that the majority of our videos are for educational purposes only. This world is crazy. I would say shady. Ironic, right? Nowadays, you can't trust no one. When you do, niggas be having their panties all in a bunch, thinking that they own one. Saying the things that you accomplished in life is theirs and that you owe them one.
I don't know. But let's listen to this. He threw me off on that one. Maybe I'm tripping. But y'all know we're going to do a couple parts to this, all right? This is a 2-hour video long, all right? This is a 2-hour video, all right? Live, my bad. And we're already into an hour and 35 minutes, all right, into my live. All right, so we got like 30 more minutes, and then we're going to end this job. But let's listen into this, all right, because like he says, all right, you can't manifest if you haven't healed yet. So basically, maybe I'm wrong. Anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, right? Basically, what he's trying to say is that if we don't learn how to heal from our past traumas, we won't be able to manifest in life, right?
Can decode those waves light years away. The thoughts left your skull and went into the little sensors and then got sent to a computer. No surgery needed. So we know that this is leaving our head. Just like radio waves from the I Love Lucy show of 1960s is still traveling through space into the little light. See, I could put an EEG cap on your head, just sit it right on top of your head, and I can see all your thoughts on a computer. How'd that happen? The thoughts left your skull and went into the little sensors and then got sent to a computer. No surgery needed. So we know that this is leaving our head. Just like radio waves from the I Love Lucy show of 1960s is still traveling through space as waves. If I can decode those waves light years away, I can watch I Love Lucy. It's the same frequency. And
this makes me think, you know what he's saying kind of reminds me of how they say they could transfer your thoughts, your conscious mind into a robot. All right, on some real shit. Like, you know how they already got this shit out here, right? They said that it's new, all right? But if it was so new, then why was they talking about it back in the 60s, back in the 70s, back in the 50s, all right? It was already out there, all right? I was already experimenting with it, but, you know, hey, we just discovered something new now in the 2000s. We're about to hit the Jetsons era. It wasn't no predictions. It was telling us what they was going to do, allegedly, all right? Listen, don't come to me saying, oh, well, they predicted this. It wasn't a fucking prediction. All right. It's like Sophia Stewart. I love Sophia Stewart. All right. But it wasn't a prediction. All right. She just put 2 and 2 together and told us what the fuck they was going to do. But nobody wanted to pay attention.
Your thoughts are all out there. Every thought you've ever thought from the beginning of your first thoughts is existing on this energetic grid. That's the book of life. That's the Akashic record.
I had some bad thoughts out there in the past, man. I had some bad thoughts out there in the past, man.
Well, we all have. Every thought's leaving your skull, and it's out here for eternity in this energetic grid. The thoughts are all there, you see? And so they're leaving your skull. They're penetrating out, but they're also going down, out, in through the body. And, of course, the words we speak are also creating these frequencies that doesn't matter what language it is. The cells understand that frequency.
So is it the cell, because they're just sounds, right? And it's like in a different language, a swear word might be a loving word.
Yes.
You know, a different language.
The intention.
So is it the intention and the awareness of the meaning?
Exactly.
It's like the awareness we give the sound and how it feels and resonates within us.
That's it. The conscious thought is piggybacked on the cymatic frequency. So it doesn't matter what you're speaking. It's the intention of that word. The water now takes on that water in the body. It takes that information and it processes it. And it understands negative or positive. And now you begin to get sick on the inside. If it's too much negativity, we know that what happens with doctors will tell you, if you go to your doctor, oh man, your stress is giving you an ulcer. This stress is giving you cancer. If you have an autoimmune problem, you get stressed out, it brings the autoimmune response out in your body. So we know that the body is responding to exterior, influence.
Or in how we interpret exterior influence.
Exactly. How you interpret the exterior.
Because every event is just kind of neutral if you look at it. I mean, we make it a horrible or positive event.
Correct.
Like we interpret, oh, someone's dying or someone got shot by someone intentionally, that we make it a horrible event. And I'm not discounting that.
I know what you mean.
But how we resonate with that energetically, we're feeling that.
Right.
And I think it's totally fine to feel compassionate and something is wrong based on our society and all these different things. I'm not condoning someone being murdered, but it's like we interpret the event as being a positive or negative or neutral. And it's our interpretation. If we ruminate on that interpretation for long enough and we don't clear that energy, then it will make us sicker or make us more loving.
Exactly.
If we ruminate on a positive experience, we're going to feel more abundant, more loving.
Absolutely.
It's the rumination of the meaning that we give the event.
Right. That's facts.
So if you have experienced traumas in your life and you either block them, stuff them, don't bring them up, whatever it might be, they're still in your body is what I'm hearing you say.
Yes, they're still in your body.
Even if you're like, well, I'm just going to go learn more and succeed more and make money and whatever it might be, that hasn't left your body.
Right.
When does it start to leave your body? Is that when you start to forgive yourself?
Yeah, when you start to, that's why I say the first thing, like if somebody can follow this process and the first thing is forgive themselves, that starts the clearing process. That starts the body to get into alignment with this healing process, right? And then from there to begin to speak positive affirmations about yourself every single day. If you can write down positive affirmations, at least, maybe 9 is one particular exercise where you have down 9 positive affirmations and you speak them out loud 6 times a day for 21 days. Scientists have proved in an actual laboratory setting that the DNA in the human body, and people can look this up, begins to rewrite itself.
Come on.
Oh, shit.
That's real.
Wow.
That's wild.
Real. And this is something anybody can look up.
I got to find this.
Peer-reviewed science.
I got to find this.
Yes. Speaking positive affirmations 21 days, your DNA begins to actually rewrite itself. So now you are the creator of your own destiny. You are rewriting the DNA inside of your own body. Now, what is DNA? DNA is a storage medium. It stores information.
It's data.
It's data. George Church, a scientist, took 1 gram of DNA, which is just a drop, and he said, I wonder if this could store information in the volume. So he took his ebook, and he actually took his ebook and he converted it from zeros and ones into A's, C's, T's, and G's, and downloaded it directly onto the DNA.
Come on.
Yes.
What is the DNA, like a cell or a drop of blood, or what is that? What is like
DNA? So just the DNA of the human body. He was able to take
like a cell or
1 gram of it. No, it's not a cell. Smaller than a cell. It's inside. It's what creates the cell.
Hold up, wait a minute. Where's Yaya? Where's the word? I need y'all to break this down like I'm a kindergartner, because he think I'm in college right now.
Cells and everything. It creates everything in the human body. It's the smallest thing that one of the smallest things that exists to make up the human form.
He downloaded his ebook into that little
into
DNA
1 drop, and then he replicated it 80 billion times. Yeah, I'm dead serious. And this is a book with multimedia in it too. It's not just a regular standard text.
Do that.
And then he listened to the study. Then he
so what
changed
happened
it from
after
A's, T's, and G's back into zeros and ones and uploaded it back to the server again.
To what server?
Yeah. So now, but listen to what Microsoft did. Microsoft is heavily involved in. So they went and
hold up, wait a minute. So hold up, wait a minute. So the bull took a drop of his blood and turned it into somehow a hard drive. Wait. What the fuck? Wait a minute.
Formed and created the very first DNA hard drive, where you have molecular and you have hard tech working together to create storage capacity. 1 gram, 1 drop can store 433 petabytes of data.
I don't even know what that means.
So our blood can actually store data out from outside of our bodies in a hard drive. Get the fuck out of here. Damn. I learned something new today.
That's a petabyte is a 1,000 terabytes.
Wow.
Okay. And they discovered that the human body can store about 13.5 billion years of data, which is roughly around the time they believe the universe even exists. So all the secrets and mysteries of the known universe are hidden inside of our body.
That is crazy.
And
the ground we
in
come.
the myth of Adapa, there's an ancient text called the myth of Adapa where it says just that exact.
Damn, yeah. From the dirt we come, huh? What was that little phrase you was using the other day when you was telling the shorty? You said, I ain't fighting with dirt. Damn. Oh, shit. Okay, I need to reach. I need you to do some more lives like this. I want to reach our level, all right? I'm still stuck in the second dimension from what it looks like. I'm halfway in the third dimension. I need to get out the second dimension to reach the third dimension so I can try to reach the fourth dimension. In some way along the line, reach the 11th dimension, okay?
Same thing, which is just crazy. The correlation between the two, modern science and the ancient texts. The ancients knew what we're just finding out.
What is the positive affirmation that you say to yourself daily?
I am the architect of my life.
Woo!
That's
I say that a lot.
To know that I'm the architect. I'm creating my reality. I'm, good or bad, I'm the one that's directing it, right? I'm the architect. And I always say that, I'm worthy. I want to understand and feel worthiness because the way that I grew up and the people I grew up around didn't really feel worthy of anything. They felt like they were just trying to survive on a daily basis. Can we make it through this day? Can we make it through that day? I'm worthy of abundance. So I'm worthy of abundance.
I mean, it's the blueprint that was handed to us. All right. We are the architects. We were meant to be architects. We build, we create, we invent. So, yeah, that's a fact.
Worthy of great relationships. I'm worthy of great family. I'm worthy of happiness. I want to be happy. I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be stressed out. I want happiness in my life, especially when I get to my age now. I'm 53, right? I just want to be happy, man. I just want peace. Look, man, you know what I'm saying? I don't want no drama. I don't want stress. It's still going to come. But overall, the balance is there where I have more peace than stress, which is where I want to be. And I'm manifesting that on a daily basis. Right?
When did that shift for you?
Hold on. All right. So we're going to leave that right there. All right. We're going to leave that right there. That's going to be for part 2. Yo, this John is getting good. All right. Like I told y'all, listen, if y'all asked to drop the link, I don't mind y'all coming up and chopping it up with a shorty. All right. As we react to these Johns. All right. I would love to hear y'all perspectives, but shit, I'm about to get off this John before the 2 hour mark. All right. Shout out to Yaya for teaching us already a few tricks on this YouTube thing, man. I really, really appreciate you. All right. Make sure y'all go check her out on Dish and Dirt. Dish and Dirt Uncut. Come get this smoke. All right. Big shout out to her. Like I really do appreciate, the help and the support she does give. All right. And big shout out to my day one subscribers, my new subscribers. I appreciate y'all. If it wasn't for y'all, man, I wouldn't have, made it this far. Listen, man, make sure y'all become a member. All right, we got lives and videos and shorts on members only. All right, and when we get it, when we able to get up there, like I told y'all, man, like keep, listen. I appreciate the support, man. Keep showing the support. We're gonna get to the members lives, all right, to do the members giveaways and the subscribers giveaways soon. So listen, just give a shorty a little bit of time on that. Listen, maybe a month or 2, hopefully. I'll get everything I gotta get situated out here so that we can get that jump on and popping. But man, I appreciate those that have been here rocking out with a shorty. All right. Listen, we're gonna get into part 2. I'm not sure when. I'm gonna try to schedule it, but we definitely gotta get into part 2. It might be today, all right? Because like I told y'all, I'm gonna take a couple of days off YouTube. I'm just gonna be uploading shorts and uploading videos. All right. Like I really do gotta get my mental together. Like on some real shit, I got a lot going on from personal to, the community and working and much more. So listen, I just got to reorganize my thoughts. All right. Like on some real shit. Like I don't want to be like Randy Orton on this John talking about I have voices in my head. They talk to me and they tell me what to do. All right, now, man, I gotta reorganize my thoughts because if not, I'm gonna end up like some of these females on this John out here. All right, Sean, how can I say cobbed up? How can I say? Let me see. Yeah, cobbed up caves and shit, spiderweb kitty cats all stunned up and shit. All right, but hey, listen, at least some of these hoes out here be trying to impress. So it is what it is, all right. But listen, man, make sure y'all check out the memberships, all right. We have some more poetry coming. I'm practicing on the lyrical poetry, all right. I'm trying to get my breathing under control, all right, so that I could, do the music right behind the beats and stuff like that. So I'm taking it a little more serious. Before I wasn't, I was just having fun with it. But now that people really want the lyrics behind the beats, I'm definitely about to take it a little more serious. So it's going to take me a little longer to put some, lyrical poems behind beats out here. But hey, listen, at least I'm trying, right? But like I said, make sure y'all check out the memberships. The website will be up soon once I figure out how to, connect it to YouTube. Like I'm there halfway, but I think I messed up. I don't know if I can fix it. So I'm gonna need somebody with experience to help Shorty out with that part. But I'll get there. But with that being said, let me get off this John. All right. And until next time, it's your Shorty Racheal. I hope all of y'all have a blessed and humble day. Continue to have a blessed and humble. Let me see. It's still morning? Nope. Afternoon. And we out.
Religiously, understand the 7 principles of hell. You understand the 7 demons within you. You understand the whole concept. It's a whole metaphysical concept. We didn't go over that, but anyway, so